Welcome to the 2022 Capitol Officials Association Baseball Rules Clinic number 3. I'm your host, Greg Stanley. The rules test will be open from February 7th through the 24th. You will be allowed unlimited time. You will have 5 breaks allowed. It's an open rulebook test, 100 questions. It can be accessed through Dragonfly. You must score 75 or better to be eligible for regular season games. You must score an 80 or better to be eligible for postseason games. Make sure you keep your blockout dates up to date in Arbiter from now through the end of May. Make sure you accept or decline games through Arbiter, and make sure you contact your partner by either email, text, or phone call. Scrimmages will be self-assigned through Arbiter. All umpires will need to be in full uniform with full equipment for all scrimmages. Game fees this year, middle school and JV games are $64. Varsity games are $74.50. A JV varsity doubleheader is $64 plus $74.50 for a total of $138.50. This season games will start on Monday, February the 28th. The last day of regular season is Friday, May the 6th. First round of the playoffs is May the 10th. Second round of the playoffs, May 13th. Third round of the playoffs, May 17th. Fourth round of playoffs, May 20. The regional series will take place between May 24th and May 28th, and the state championship series will be January 3rd and 4th at Burlington and at NC State or Team Park.
We're going to discuss what should be covered in a good pregame conference with your partner. The 7 items you see on the screen are a starting point. This is not an all-inclusive list of what you should cover. It's important that all umpires are on the same page of what you are expected to do and what you expect your partner to do. So when I'm the plate guy, especially if it's a guy I have not worked with before, I like to have a lengthy pregame conference with him in the parking lot while we're getting dressed. I want to make sure I cover responsibilities with nobody on base. My fair foul responsibilities, I usually take the ball up to the front edge of the bag at first base. My partner in the A position will take fair or foul from the bag and beyond. I like to let my partner know that if it's a trouble ball and they go out from the A position, that's okay. I'll get the runner all the way around, cover all bases. Runner on first only. I like to go through the catch, no catch responsibilities to the outfield. So runner on first only. My baseman's going to be in the middle in the B position. They will have all catch, no catches from left fielder to right fielder and everything in between. I will take catch, no catches, left field going to the line, right field going to the line. Rotations, runner on first only, clean base hit to the outfield. I'm going to rotate up to third base and take the runner from first coming into third. Baseman will watch him touch second and release him, and then he'll pick up the batter runner rounding first for any play on him. Double play situations. He's going to obviously have both sides of the double play, but as a plate guy, I'm coming out from behind the plate, getting up fairly close to the mound area, not directly at the mound, but either left or right of it. I have a tendency to go toward the first base side. I'm coming out to look for a potential illegal slide at second base after my partner has pivoted to get the play at first. If I have nothing at second base and I have a chance to pivot and get a look at first base for a possible pulled foot or swipe tag, then I can help out with that. Runners on first and third only. Again, outfield catch, no catch. Baseman will have left fielder, right fielder, everything in between. First and third is another rotation. And then again, same thing with double play. As a plate guy, I can't get out as far on a possible double play because I still have my primary responsibility is the runner crossing home. So I have to make sure that's my primary responsibility. So additionally, I'm not going to rotate down until number one, the runner from first has committed to go to third, and I can look back over my shoulder and watch the runner from third touching home plate. In either one of those situations, when I rotate to third base, I am going to verbalize loud so that my partner knows exactly where I am. Runners on at least first and second, less than 2 outs. We have infield fly possibilities. So I'll communicate with my partner the infield fly signal. Also, first and second only with less than 2 outs. Then I'll communicate my partner on tag up situation. So ball hit to the outfield, and there's a tag up situation with first and second only, less than 2 outs. As a plate guy, I'm going to rotate down to third so I can take the lead runner coming into third. My partner will stay in the middle and take the runner from first base, and all plays on him. Any situation where we have multiple plays on the infield, the most common example is a play at first and then a snap over to third. But if there's multiple plays on the infield, I put the responsibility on my baseman to get himself in position to make both calls. I understand that there are times that can't happen, and as a plate guy, again, I will verbalize and communicate with my partner. If there's ever a time I'm going to rotate up to third base to get that backside of a multiple plays on the infield situation, I will communicate and let him know that I'm there so we don't have 2 umpires on a play making a call. Check swing responsibilities. If they ask, I will always honor that and check a swing to my partner to see what they have. And then foul off the batter while in the box. Again, we're going to have this pregame now where I communicate. If they see it, kill it. If they don't see it, don't kill it. Right. Now, experience will teach us to be patient and delay in that. Read what the runner does, because the runner will most of the time tell us if the ball hit him or not with his actions. He hits the ball down near the dirt and he takes off running. He's telling us the ball did not hit him. He's trying to beat it out to first. Now, a big swing, the ball goes down in the dirt and he delays and he pauses, maybe hops around a little bit. So if I didn't see it hit him, he's now telling me that ball hit me. So, or hit him rather. So I'm going to read that batter and what he does. Now, if I don't kill it and my partner doesn't kill it, and a coach comes ask me, I will get together with my partner and we'll talk about it to make sure we get the call right. That's not a situation where I think we need to be stubborn and tell the coach, no, we're not going to talk about it. I've tried that before. It didn't work well. So there's not a problem at all in us talking about it to make sure we get the call right. The A position with nobody on base. Our initial position in foul territory, about 6 to 8 feet behind the first baseman. If the first baseman moves up, we move up with him, but we must maintain distance behind him. If the first baseman goes deep, then we go deep with him to always be behind the first baseman. Your initial position in the A position, guys, we should not be too deep. Notice in the A position, I have it set up where we're not to the outfield area. Some fields, maybe, but most of our high school fields, we should be able to set up in the A position still a little bit on the dirt, right inside the transition to the outfield grass. I've seen guys in the A position just initially set up way too deep. There's just not a need to do that. We get a better look at plays and we get a better feel for the game if we're a little bit closer in. So try to aim for that 6 to 8 feet behind the first baseman when nobody's on base. In the A position, taking place from the infield. So the first baseman has moved into position to be able to receive the throw from an infielder. So depending on where the throw is coming from, that will determine exactly where we set up. So if a throw is coming from the third base or the shortstop area, then generally what we want to do is move in a direction toward where the throw's coming from. So from the A position, I'm going to come inside the foul line. And the distance that I'm trying to gain is to be able to set up approximately a 90-degree angle from the throw to where I'm set up. I do caution everyone to not come in too far. If you come in too far, we start to lose an angle on a pulled foot. We start to lose an angle on a swipe tag. So my general rule of thumb from the A position, when the throw's coming from shortstop or third base, I may come into the field maybe 4, at most 5 steps. That way I'm setting up to get a good angle on that play at first base. What I'm looking for is not just the play at first base, but through that whole process of the play, the first thing I do is I watch the third baseman or the shortstop cleanly field the ball. I watch them release the throw. And at that point, it's my job to read that as either a true throw or a possible trouble throw. If it's a true throw, then I can now pivot and lock in at first base, looking at the bag, listening for the catch of the ball, which one happens first to rule safe or out. If I rule it as a trouble throw, then I'm still going to pivot and lock in, but I'm going to be in an athletic, flexible position because I will probably have to make a read step. I will probably have to make a slight adjustment to look for a pulled foot, to look for a swipe tag. So that's why it's important that we read the throw before we lock in on the bag. A true throw, lock in. If we read it as a trouble throw, then we need to be in a flexible, athletic position to be able to make a read step and make a slight adjustment. A throw coming from up the middle, so a shortstop or second baseman that's making a play up the middle. So shortstop going up the middle, second baseman going up the middle. So a throw coming from the middle of the field. So again, I'm still going to make a direction toward that play, but I'm not going to go as far in. A play coming from up the middle, I may go 3 steps in the field. I'm not getting too deep in because I still want to maintain or get to about that 90-degree angle, but also maintain a good look at pulled foot, swipe tag. As I continue around the diamond, a play from the second baseman. A play coming from the second baseman, I may only go 1 or 2 steps in the field of play. Again, the more I go in, the worse angle I'm creating and the worse look I have at a pulled foot or a swipe tag. Right. Now, what about the second baseman who is moving to his left, moving toward us to field the ball and then make a throw? In that situation, guys, I'm going to just barely step inside the foul line. And the reason I'm stepping inside the foul line to take that call is so I can give the runner his lane to continue running through after the bag. I don't want to be on the line. I don't want to be in foul territory for that play because I put myself in jeopardy of being run over. Right. And really important, guys, I don't want to go too far in. If I go too far in, now I'm in jeopardy of that throw. So when the ball brings the second baseman toward me in the A position, I just come just 1, maybe 2 steps into the field of play. Again, in every play from the infield, I watch the fielder make a clean play, field it cleanly, and then I look for the true release of the ball. Now, on the play coming from this second baseman, I won't be able to stay on his release as long because I have a shorter time period to be able to pivot and lock in on the bag at first base. So when I see that he's cleanly fielded the ball and I see that the throw to first base is imminent before he releases it, then I'm going to pivot to start my lock in. Every play at first base, guys, we need to be locked in with our head still watching the play. For me, eyes on the bag, and I'm listening for catching the ball. And I just judge which one happens first. The next play from the A position, the pitcher covering first base. So we have a ball hit in which the first baseman fields the ball, and we have the pitcher circling around to cover first base. Right. For this play, guys are going to do it a lot of different ways. I suggest starting out that we still need to come inside to take that play. I still need to give the runner his lane to run through. So I need that to happen. Let him clear, give him his room to clear. And I still want to try to come inside to get that play. Right. Now, as we gain more experience, then there are guys, and I'll do this sometimes as well, is we come to the outside to take that play. And that comes with experience, that comes with reading the play, and that comes with a lot of different things that go into it. So we can't be a robot about it. We have to be athletic about it and let the play guide us. If the play allows us to come to the inside, then we should come to the inside. If the play does not allow us to come to the inside, then we can come to the outside to take that play and still lock in to watch the play. Ball, nobody on base. We're in the A position. A ball hit to the outfield. Depending on where it's hit and what we read, will determine our movements. So from the A position, ball hit to the outfield, and it's a ball we do not go out on. So from the A position, we're going to come in about to the cutout. Again, general location there, about to the cutout. And at this point, we're looking at first base. We must look to first base for two things: runner touching bag and possible obstruction by first baseman. If we see the runner miss the bag, we remember that. We don't call it, but we remember it. If we see obstruction, we call it. We'll talk about the obstruction signal in a later video. So from the A position, nobody on, ball hit to the outfield. We come into about the cutout. We watch for touching first base. We watch for obstruction by the first baseman. We then pivot and move to second base. And this is where we have to read the play. Where is the ball hit? Where is the impending play going to happen? If it's a possible play at second base, then I come into the cutout and get in position to take that play into second base. If the runner makes a hard turn around second, and then the runner makes a hard turn around second, stops, and then comes back to first, then we likewise, we stop and we come back to first for a potential back play at first base. If we judge off the bat that ball is clearly a double, potentially a triple, then as I'm moving towards second base, I'm going to round that off and I'm going to get ahead of that runner. I'm still watching him touch second base. So my runner touches first. I clearly see that. He touches second. I clearly see that. And at the point that he commits, I then commit. If he's committed to go to third, then I commit to go to third. If he stops and goes back to second, then I stop and I come back to second to get in position for a possible play. So we have to read what the runner's doing and read where the ball is hit to be able to make a good judgment on that. The B position, runner on first only and runner on first and third. We're in the B position. A good general rule of thumb is this yellow dotted line. Your B position would be that imaginary line straight through the edge of the pitcher's mound to home plate. Again, that's not set in stone, but that is a good general rule of thumb. All right, the white dotted box you see is often referred to as the working box. Too many people want to set up camp and stay in that box. That is not a good idea. The working box is where you can start, but when a play develops at a base, you need to move toward that base to get a better look at it. Okay. A pickoff play at first, I need to move toward first base to get a better look at it. A steal of second base, I need to open up and get to that cutout. Obviously not getting hit by the ball, but I need to open up and get to that cutout to see that play at second base. So again, the working box is a good place to start. It is not a good place to live. B position, plays from the infield. Head on a swivel, especially younger age, middle school, JV. Anticipate where the play should go before the pitch, but keep your head on a swivel and be awake during the play because they have a tendency to snap it around all over the park. So plays from the infield. If there's going to be a play at second base, and I read that as the only play, then I can come outside of that working box and get in position for that play at second base. If I read it as a possible double play, I don't want to overcommit to second base because that's probably not going to be my toughest call. So the front side of the double play, I'll open up, maybe right to the edge of that box. And when I see that play at second base, then I start working my way back towards first to get in the best position for that play at first. And if all I have is a play at first, I need to be very mindful of where the ball is coming from. A throw coming from the shortstop area, if I'm in the B position, I need to be really mindful of where that play is going to go. So when a throw is coming from the shortstop, I like to get inside of where that throw is coming from to see my play at first base. Well, if the throw is coming from third base area, then I'm not going to go inside because I'm putting myself in line of the throw. So the throw coming from the third base direction, I'm going to stay outside of where his throw's coming from to get that play at first base. B position, ball hit to the outfield. My first responsibility is catch, no catch, left field to center field, everything in between. After that play has happened, then again, I'm going to kind of stay in this working box area until a play is developing. And wherever the play is developing, I'm going to move toward that base to get in the best position possible. I don't want to make a call from the working box area. I want to come towards second base to make a call at second. Call coming in third base, depending on where the throw's coming from. I want to get over to the third base area to make that call. I never want to make a call from the working box area. The C position, runner on second base or beyond. So starting out, anytime there's a runner on second base or beyond, with the exception of first and third, we need to be in the C position. And as you see with that dotted line, the C position is an imaginary line straight through the edge of the mound, again to home plate, but on the third base side. Plays from the infield, very similar to the B position. So we need to move close to the bag that the play is going to. We can start in the working box, but we should not stay in the working box. And likewise, ball hit to the outfield, we have the same catch, no catch responsibility, left field, right field, everything in between. And again, as the play develops at a bag, we need to move closer to that bag, getting the best angle and gaining the best distance we can to be able to see and make a call on that play. A pregame plate conference that we'll have with coaches. This year may be a little different with COVID, but this is what you see on the screen as a general rule of thumb. So the plate umpire will be behind the plate, base umpire will be opposite side of the plate. We want to make sure we discuss the EAP, Emergency Action Plan, which basically means asking the home coach who's the game day administrator, and if weather is an issue, who is observing weather. We want to receive the home lineup first and then the visitor lineup. We want to verify lineups with each coach, especially the DH rule this year. So if we see the DH listed, we want to confirm with each coach how they're playing the DH, 10-man lineup or player DH. We want to verify both coaches have exchanged lineups. We want to verify that all players are legally and properly equipped. We want to verify that all equipment is legal and proper. We're not going to ask them specifically bats, baseballs, chest protector. We will ask them, as coach, verify all equipment is legal and proper, and they should say yes. That now puts the responsibility on the coaches, not on us. Emphasize sportsmanship and the responsibility of the coaches. I always ask coaches to remind their players to remove jewelry before we start the game. Ask the home coach to take us around the park to go over ground rules. And then ask what kind of protocol we're going to have, player introductions, national anthem, etc. A plate meeting should not be very lengthy. A plate meeting should be approximately 5 minutes or less. Anything longer than that, and I believe there's a lot of wasteful talking going on. Probably closer to 3 minutes, but somewhere between 3 to 5 minutes. All right, the one additional rule that we're going to cover in this video is rule number 5. Right, so the dead ball suspension of play rule. There is a very good table on page 36 and 37 of your rule book. I suggest that you read through all of that, understand each one of the situations. If you have questions, then bring those questions to the Zoom meeting on Thursday. We will cover a few situations of special interest to be discussed on the following slides. Right. Under the immediate dead ball part of the table, action number 7, interference by a runner or a retired runner. So if we judge interference by a runner or a retired runner, immediate dead ball, the penalty, the interferer is out and another runner or batter runner is out if that interference prevented a double play. Typically where we see that is a potential double play with an illegal slide at second base. That illegal slide is interference, so we kill it. Time, that's an interference, illegal slide, he's out. The batter runner at first base or wherever they are attempting the second half of the double play would also be out. Number 13, if a fair ball touches a runner before it touches an infielder or after it passes any infielder except the pitcher and another fielder has a play. That's a lot of words just to simply mean if a runner gets hit by a batted ball and there is an infielder who could possibly make a play on it, then we have an immediate dead ball. The hit runner is out. The batter is awarded first base. Other runners return to the base occupied at time of the interference unless they were forced to advance. Still immediate dead ball, item 14. Fair batted ball touches an umpire before it touches a fielder or passes any fielder except the pitcher. So we're in the B or C position. Batter smokes one at us and it hits us. It can happen. Hopefully it won't, but it can. So immediate dead ball, that batter is awarded first base. Other runners return to base occupied at the time of pitch unless they are forced to advance. Number 15, a thrown ball not by pitcher goes into dead ball territory. It's a thrown ball that's not a pitched ball. It's probably a better way of saying it. Because if the pitcher fields the ball and then makes the throw, he's no longer a pitcher, he is a fielder. A thrown ball that is not a pitched ball goes into dead ball territory. It's a two-base award. Award all runners 2 bases. We'll discuss later about the timing of that in a different video. Number 16, a pitched ball goes into dead ball territory or lodges in umpire or catcher's equipment. So the key difference there is a pitched ball. That is a 1 base award for all runners. Continuing immediate dead ball. A fly ball that is caught by a fielder who then goes into dead ball territory with both feet. Most of our schools in our area, when it comes down to dead ball territory, plays a 1 foot in, 1 foot out ground rule. So as long as they don't go in with both feet, then they're legal. If they catch the ball and then carry it into dead ball territory with both feet, that is a 1 base award unless that catches the third out, because the third out would end the inning. Number 23, if the batter enters the box with an illegal bat, that batter is out. The coach is restricted to the dugout on the first offense because he confirmed that all equipment was legal, and now we have an illegal bat. So his penalty is he's restricted to the dugout on the first offense, and then he's ejected on the second offense. And make sure we document that on our lineup cards. Number 28, if a batter contacts the catcher or his equipment prior to pitch. This was one that came in. There is no penalty, and this is where we need to use a little common sense. So there's no penalty, but we should only call time if the defense is put at a disadvantage. Right? We're not going to let the pitcher balk on something that happens like that. We're not going to let a runner advance. So if the batter's kind of swinging his bat around, catcher's giving a signal, if the batter hits the catcher or his equipment and the defense is put at a disadvantage, then we call time. If there's no disadvantage, no reason to call time. Now, rule number 5, delayed dead ball. So each of these actions is a delayed dead ball. If we have interference by a batter, when attempted put out is on a runner other than at home. So the penalty that we have with 2 outs, the batter is out. That would affect who comes to bat the next inning. So if we have interference by a batter with 2 outs, the batter is out. Otherwise, if the attempt on the runner is unsuccessful, the ball is dead, the batter is out, and the runner's return. If the third strike, then the batter is out on strike 3, and the runners can be called out for the interference. So where this typically comes into play is a runner stealing, batter swings, follow through, whatever the case may be, and we judge interference with that batter on the catcher trying to put this runner out. Then we have the penalty. That's the most common area where that rule comes into play. So again, with 2 outs, the batter is out. Otherwise, if the attempt on the runner is unsuccessful, so let the play happen, we will verbally announce that's interference. We'll let the play happen. If the initial attempt on the runner is unsuccessful, that's when we kill it. The batter is out, and runners return to the base occupied at the time of the pitch. If that happens to be the third strike, then again, the batter is out on strike 3, and we have the possibility, in all likelihood, the probability of getting a double play. Item number 3, obstruction with batter by catcher or fielder. So this is where batter swings, hits the catcher's mitt. So we have obstruction with the batter by the catcher. If batter and all runners attempting to steal or who are forced do not advance, then we award each 1 base. And we'll discuss that a little bit later on, because that is one where the offense can choose the penalty or the play. So we'll discuss that in a future video. One that's an eyesore on us sometimes, but it does happen: interference with the catcher by an umpire. Catcher comes up and he doesn't do it the right way. Instead of stepping toward the base he's throwing the ball, he steps up and takes a step back, wheels his arm out, and hits us as an umpire. If the runner is not put out, we call time and we return the runner to the base.
In closing, please complete the attestation form at the link in the description of the box, affirming that you have watched this video, and thank you to everyone for watching.